Back. Today we have a quick hip release for you. We'll be sat down on the floor, so go ahead and grab your mat or something comfy to sit on, and then you can meet me down on your bum. All right, so we're sitting down to start. The feet are slightly wider than your hips, please, and we have the hands behind us. That position where you are not slouching, but nice and tall. Think proud through the chest. We're going to drop the knees in one direction. Good, and then swivel them over to the other side. Nice. Now you might notice that I'm gently squeezing my glute to press that hip forward ever so slightly. So you start to get a little opening through the front of the hip there as well. Good squeeze in your booty. Nice. So reach through. Just do a few here, see how it feels through the hips today. Little release for the lower back as well. Good. We'll do two more. And as you come to that second side, we're going to hold it there. Now I'm pushing off my hands to try and sit up tall, facing that front leg. If this position doesn't work out for you, you're welcome to place a block or a pillow underneath that front glute to sit up a little bit higher. Double check you have two 90-degree angles to the best of your ability, and from there we're going to flat back forward. You're very welcome to keep some support of the arms on the floor, so then reach it back through. Good. We're just gently moving through, and I'd like to remind you that it doesn't have to look the same way as I'm doing it. You might go a little bit less deep, especially if it's new for the body, need some time to get used to it. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can take your hands off and do it on your own strength. Good. If you're coming with me without those hands, make sure that you're pushing down through that front knee into the floor. So then exhale, press back up, little squeeze in the back glutes. So we're hinging from the hips. Let's do three more, either supported or on our own. You got two. And we press. Beautiful. And small, it might look like this to start out with. You try to lengthen out as much as you can. Your last one, you find your max. We hold it for three, with or without hands. Two, one, and then all the way up. Good. If we can, we switch to the other side without using those hands. Push the knees out, and then we come into our second leg. Try to sit as tall as you can. Have a little squeeze in that booty. Good. Push down through the front knee. We're gonna gently release back over. So then come back up. Good. We'll keep this going. Move through a few times at your own pace. So if you ever feel like you want to stay down longer than I am, please feel free to do so. And think of actively pushing down that front knee into the floor still. Welcome to keep this going as is, or potentially you wanted to come with me again without those hands to reach forward and control it back down. As terrible as it might feel now, your hips would be really happy if you were to do this more frequently, especially when you reach through. Good. And again, that might not go down as deep. You might find that you're struggling sitting in that position, you place something underneath, and you can just move a little bit, that's fine. Just keep pushing that knee down however far you can, maybe even a pillow underneath the knee there. Good, let's do two more together. Squeeze. The last one, we're going to hold it there a little bit longer again. We breathe, we stay for 6. Good, for 2, 1, press it all the way up. Gorgeous. And we come in. Have a little shake through the legs, a little roll through the ankles. Gorgeous. And then we'll come and lay down on our backs. So we're laying flat down. Take a second to arrive on the floor there. And as we started, we're going to gently rock those knees side to side. Chest stays heavy. You think of sending that knee away from you, letting the lower back move with you. Just gently releasing. Good. Beautiful. And then hip distance apart. Nice, just 3 times. We're gonna roll through the spine. You start by peeling off from the base, you pull the core in, and then you squeeze the bum up into the air. This opens, not your back. So try and keep those ribs nice and connected, and then we articulate our way back down. Good, we got 2 more. Feel like you're trying to massage your back out. We lift, and we slowly roll it back down. One more time. Up and out. Good, let's press the hands into the floor. And we draw a little circle through the hips up top. Find what feels good there as well. You can think of sending one knee away a bit further than the other way, and you drop that back down. Good, releasing through the front of the hips. Gorgeous. And we switch around opposite direction. Same thing, you will feel a weight transfer from one heel into the other, and therefore an engagement transfer from one side of the bum to the other. Nice, for 3, 2, 1, and we slowly roll that back down. Good, let's bring both feet up to the air. We draw big circles through the feet. You can get the wrists involved as well. Nice, and the opposite way around if you haven't switched yet, switch directions. Gorgeous, and have a little shake. Really let everything jiggle. Gorgeous. And then our right foot comes onto the left knee. We're going to push that right knee away and pop the foot back down. Gorgeous. Now, a little bit of strength here, but to open up the hips. We're going to push the hips straight up to the ceiling, keeping them leveled as we squeeze into that left glute. So we still find that nice line, and you think of drawing that right knee down to the floor. So we have a single leg here, and we reach through. If for whatever reason this doesn't feel accessible for you right now, you place your right foot down on the floor, you come onto your toes, and it's there. You're not relying on it too much. So you can have a tiny bit of resistance, but think most of that weight is still being carried by that left leg. If you're happy where you are, you're going to continue with me. Good. We press it up. We got 3. Good, 2. Nice, 1. This is great reset, especially if you sit down a lot during the day. Release it down and just gently rocking side to side to release the back again. Might get a little click like me. Good, and we settle in the center to hug those hands behind the leg coming into your figure 4 stretch. Good. If you were already getting a good stretch with that foot on the floor, feel free to keep it there. Otherwise, hands behind the thigh, and we gently pull that in towards us. So we're still focusing on the hips, on the outside of that right hip. We'll hold it. Deep exhales out. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Have a little shake again. And then we switch sides. Let's place the left foot on the right knee. We push that left knee away. Bring the foot in line with your hip. This stays leveled, and you're going to press those hips back up to the sky. For 1. Good, then tap. For 2. 3, so you use your core to stabilize the position. 4. And remember, if it's too heavy, instead of doing one leg, you can have some support of that left leg, as long as you're still keeping most of your awareness into that right side. Thinking of the length each time. If you feel fine, you come with me with that single leg without dipping in the hips. Sending your tailbone away for 2. Good. And your last one. Slowly bring it down. Good. Relax for a second. Let the back settle back in. If you need to, you can have that little rock side to side. Beautiful. And then let's hug the knees behind the leg. Pulling that into the chest without curling up too much. As soon as we become this little egg shape, might look like we're going deeper, We lose quite a lot of the stretch. If you can, send your tailbone away and think of a tiny bit of space between your lower back and the floor. From there, we try to get that leg in more. As you continuously think of pushing that knee away from you, don't let that drop in. Good. Always feel free to explore by gently wiggling side to side. And if this is too intense, you keep that right foot on the floor and you just push the left knee away from you. You can stay there. That might give you the stretch you need in the hip already. 2, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Knees hug in the chest. With your hands, you guide them out into a little circle. And we'll bring them back in. Nice, releasing through. Again, letting the lower back move, softening through the inner thighs for 2. Good, for 1. Beautiful. Let's bring the arms out into a T shape. We have a quick rotation for the spine. Dropping the knees one way. They stay connected, please. So see if you can keep them stacked. And the opposite shoulder stays nice and heavy on the mat. Keeping the length, and we switch. We reach through. Nice, back in the center. We got one more on either side. This time, if you like to, you can wrap the top leg over the bottom leg to then cross the legs over to the side. That's optional. You can stick with that stacked version instead. See what you need and what feels best for you in the back. We stay there for one more deep inhale. Deep exhale out, let it slide down. Good. Keeping the length through the back. We'll come through the center. If you had your legs wrapped, we wrap the other one up top and then we drop them down the opposite side. No need to pull or push those legs down. Just let it be heavy. Let gravity do the work for you. Stay for 3, for 2, for 1. Nice. Let's bring that back into the middle. Like we had earlier, gently rocking those knees side to side. Reach it all the way through. And let's lengthen the arms and legs out. Take a nice deep inhale, stretch out as tall as you can, like you want to touch the wall above you and the wall underneath you. Tense up the whole body as you inhale, hold it. And exhale, deep sigh out, let everything sink down into the mat. Feet flop out, back's nice and heavy. Gorgeous. Let's bring our legs back in. Come onto the side to press yourself up. Good. Any little wiggle that you need, and then you're all done for today. Good. I'll see you tomorrow.